Hi there, Steve again. Thanks for joining me. This time I'm at Balvaird Castle in Perth and Kinross, and I'm going to be demonstrating some watercolour. So let's start. So I'm all set up, and I'm just going to start with a loose sketch, just an outline sketch, and this is using a graphite pencil. Just keeping it really loose. And as you can see, the castle is in shadow, so this is almost a silhouette, but it's got some detail in it as well. So I'm just putting the main features in. I'm not putting too much detail in. And trying to keep the line work nice and lively. It's just giving an impression of the castle. I'm not following every little detail. And for the trees, I'm just going to loosely indicate those. Just the outline shape. Where the main trunks are. So nothing more detailed than that, so I'm just going to start putting some paint in. So I've just mixed up some ultramarine with a little bit of alizarin crimson, and I'm just going to indicate some sky. As you can see, there's some clouds scudding across. So I'm just going to give an impression of these, just to show that there's something in the background. See, I'm using the brush on the side, so I can get some nice cloud shapes. I'm not worried about painting over the castle itself, because I'm going to go into this with darker colours any second. So I'm just going to run some of that blue in. So you can see, because there's a lot of clouds out today, so the lighting is changing all the time. So I'm prepared for any eventuality that might change completely again in the next few minutes. So I'm just adding a little bit of lemon yellow and just going to indicate some of the foreground. Just getting a bit more water there, Again, as you can see, keeping it really loose. And I've got the board almost vertical. So I'm quite happy to let these colours run. Just to give an indication of the foliage in the foreground. So we're in September, so there's harvesting going on in the fields around here, which you can probably hear in the background, the tractor. So again, trying to keep things nice and lively. So there's an accidental splash there if you saw that. So I'll bring some of that into the foreground. Watercolour is all about happy accidents and exploiting those to make things just a little bit more interesting. So going back into the castle. So again, this wash of ultramarine with a little bit of alizarin crimson. And here we go. So I'm not going to go too thick, I want that line work to show through. Again, just adding a little bit more water, just letting those colours run. And again, I'm quite happy for these colours to mix here. The colours of the castle with the long grass in the foreground. So, very quickly I'm just going to indicate the trees, and I'm using slightly drier paint, so the same mix, just with a little bit of lemon yellow, and this time I'm going to use the brush on the side lots of white areas as well. So there's also some slightly reddish brickwork on the corners. Now the trees have dried off a little bit, so I'm going to go in and add just a little bit more detail. It's always good to remember which way trees grow. Obviously they grow up the way, so it's a good idea to paint in that direction as well. Add a little bit of shadow area. And just add a bit of water and let that colour run just a bit. Now the castle's just a little bit more dry now, which is great, so I can go back in and just add a few darker touches. So again, the lighting's changed, so I'm just going to add just a little bit more shadow in here. And there we have it. I don't want to overwork it, so I think I've just about captured it there. So if I want to later on, when it's completely dry, I can do some more work on that in the studio, but actually I'm quite happy with that at the moment. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.